Hey everyone, welcome. In today's marketing clinic, we're talking social media, and I'm looking forward to having a few people come in. Hopefully they do. As always, I always have topics to talk about related to the topic of the day for our marketing clinic. And if you don't want to miss a future marketing clinic and you actually want to ask questions live, all you have to do is subscribe and hit the bell icon, and you will be informed next time I go live. And I'm often doing this in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, once, twice, maybe 3 times a week, depending on my workload, to be quite honest. That's usually what it comes down to. But today's topic, social media specific, but if you have a different question, just marketing in general, feel free. Don't feel like you have to stick to this topic all the way through. If it morphs into something else, that's fine. But we'll keep it pretty much on task, because we'll have future marketing clinics where we can have other discussions. So, social media. What is the biggest thing that you can understand related to social media? And I think for the most part, it's keeping the social in social media. There are a lot of excellent tools out there that I've used, and the reality is a lot of them really kind of push you towards becoming more automated. Now, some small tasks automated are fine, but you can't automate your entire social media existence, because honestly, it's like going to a networking event. Let's say you go to a networking event and you just put a cardboard cutout of you and have a little handout and your cards there, and you just stand there. Maybe a call to action or a sign. Would that work? Maybe, maybe not, but there'd be no relationship developed. If someone had an immediate need and needed that card, yeah, they'd pick it up, I'm sure. However, there'd be no long-term relationships developed. You wouldn't find a referral partner that way. And there's some people who go to a networking event and they just throw their cards around as quick as possible and leave. And that's it. And they think they've networked, and they haven't networked at all. All they did was pass cards around. Nobody really knows who they are. And when they get home, the people who receive the card get home. Where does that card go? In a drawer, politely, so they don't feel like they've been rude to you. Why? I don't know, but that seems to be normal. Put it in a drawer. They're never going to go back to it, never going to see it again. If it's somebody that they care about, then they'll follow up maybe in social media or email them, thank them for their time. Same as with social media. It's the relationships. When I have been more involved socially on a social platform, I've made great strides. Even with smaller communities, I have built large communities and end up with very little engagement. And there's only one person to blame. Me, because I didn't take the time to keep the engagement level up. And I've had smaller communities and continue to where engagement is high. And I'm making real progress in building a good community around whatever it is that topic is. And it's important. So taking the social out of social media by automating things and just putting stuff up on Facebook and think you're doing social media. No. When you upload something to Facebook and you just leave it there, well, that's just posting something to a website. That's not social media. There's nothing expected. When you do automate, and sometimes it's okay, I do use Hootsuite, but I have to make sure I'm there. I go there and make sure that if somebody comments or shares, I let them know. I thank them, because that kind of relationship development is so important in social media. So the question I often get is, which social media platform should I go to? Which one should I use? And the answer is always, it depends on your product and where your customer is. So think about, what is the problem your customer has? Where might they go socially? And if it is family and friends, well, then you need to give people tools that they can use to share the correct answer in the social media. Or you need to create blog posts that people can share, or memes people can share, or videos people can share. Something that's very shareable in the arena in which your target market most likely resides. If you have an extremely technical piece, well then probably you have to create white papers to share, or downloads for an email, or maybe a blog post. If you have something extremely visual, well then Instagram is an excellent place to do it. If it's about family and friends and so forth, Facebook is a great place to be. If it's developing yourself as an expert, well then Twitter or YouTube is a great place to be. So there are really different social media platforms for different types of engagement and different types of target markets. Now, I'm going to do a video, and I mentioned this in one of the last marketing clinics. Now I'll do another refresh video on the solar system, the social media solar system. But let's go through it right now because we're here. And the social media solar system starts with your sun. And that is the only place you sell. That is your website. You sell there. Every place else you don't really sell. You may lead people to a place to sell, to ask for the sale and go for the, you know, the sale and the call to action. But then around your sun you have your blog, and that is your personality, and that is where you can really just expand and experiment and try new things to get people's attention. Hopefully people will share them. Then we have inner planets, and that is your multimedia sites, your podcast and your YouTube and Vimeo and Flickr, where you are sending people maybe to your blog or to your website. And in that case, maybe you have a call to action at the end of a video, you send them to the website, and that's where you really sell. Another thing you can do is maybe create images in Flickr that you can share. Maybe you can create a podcast to help inform people and educate people. If the people that you are looking for are people who need to be educated, or most likely looking for education about your product before they buy, then a podcast would be a great way to go, as well as a video. Then you have your outer planets, and that is where you engage. You engage in your outer planets. You're with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You engage with people and build connections and relationships. And the goal is to continuously push people towards, especially the people that really care, towards the sun, towards the middle of your little solar system. So you have your sun, your blog, your inner planets, and your outer planets. And in your outer planets sends people to the inner planets, that may send people to the blog or directly to the website, or you could send people directly to your website from a Twitter or another outer planet. So there is no specific pattern. It all just depends. It can be a combination of things, and you can test to see which combination works best. We've said this since the very beginning of social media, and I alluded to this earlier with the whole idea of don't take the social out of social media, but being authentic and real and being yourself really is important. Don't be somebody else, because you have to keep that up, and you need, people really do like genuine and real in social media. In some areas, a little more slickness is better, because it's expected over time. But still, real, rough, straightforward grittiness, that truly is appreciated on social media. And there's so many different types of things you can share on social media, from videos and infographics and memes. You can create your own memes, believe it or not. There's no, there's not a company that is the only company in the world that creates a meme. And the meme can be a saying or a photo or a combination thereof that kind of tells, in a sense, tells a joke or a story or a pun or a number of different things. And then you can always have it sponsored by you or something like that, or lead people to your website. You could have a website small in the corner. There are things you can do like that. Infographics that are, you take statistics and you make it easier for people to digest through an infographic, and that can be shared through the social media very easily. So again, a number of good ways you can share your message in social media. Now, here's what we've talked about before, and I know this is a tough thing. People will say, well, quality over quantity. Obviously, that's almost like the PC thing to say. Quality over quantity, yes. Well, the reality is it's quantity over quality until, and we talk about this often in these clinics is that it's quantity over quality until quality suffers. So in other words, you give it your best. You still have to give your best quality. It doesn't mean you are the best, and you shouldn't wait till you have everything perfect before you share, before you submit, or as Seth Godin likes to say, before you ship. Before you ship it, just get it out there. And keep that level and keep continuously to improve, because by getting it out there, you'll continuously improve what you're doing, but the more, the better. The more tweets, the more Facebook posts, the more videos, the more likely you are to succeed. But when you start stepping back at the level, excuse me, at the level in which people expect from you. So you may be right here. Now there may be somebody else right here. That's fine. But you're here, and the people who follow you know you're at this level of quality, and they're okay with it. And so you can keep adding more and more and more. But at what point, when you go down from what they expect of you, that is what I mean that quality suffers. So when quality is suffering, so it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you're at a certain level and you stay at that level and continuously move up and get better and better and better over time. And then if there's a point in which you get to too many posts or you run out of time or you're too busy, well, maybe step back the number of posts, but keep that quality. You're better off than increasing the number of posts and the quality going down, because this will hurt you. I have seen it over and over again in some of the other clinics. I've shared some of the stories. So take a look at some of the other clinics where I have shared different stories related to developing your social media and your marketing. I think we'll talk a little more pay-per-click in some of the next clinics, but sometimes it's just talking about what it is that you offer and maybe a specific strategy. Maybe we can work through some strategies. If you have a comment, put it in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. And in the comments, if you have a specific question and I'm able to get to it, I may bring it up in a future marketing clinic, or I may answer it in the comments below if I can do so, if I have a resource. I don't always have a good resource, and sometimes I will say for exactly what you're asking for, I don't have a good resource, because I haven't had the need. There's so many solutions to so many different types of marketing issues and ways of doing things that it's really impossible to know every solution out there. But the great thing is you have Google, and Google will help you with some of those solutions to some of your issues and your problems. So anyway, when it comes to social media, my favorite area is certainly to certainly make sure you're considered an expert in your field. That is my favorite direction through social media. Make sure that you are the expert, educate people, and develop your following that way. And you develop a group of people who really do care, who can be your evangelists, who can share what you do, and hey, make you a household name, your company a household name, because people are sharing your stuff at a very low cost. Usually, social media has to do with time more than money. Now, obviously, all the platforms now give you the opportunity to spread your message to similar types of people that are following you now, and that's rather nice. So you have a certain group of people who are looking for you at this level and this kind of information. You can advertise to more people who match that description, and those are audiences. And you can do that. Or you can target specifically people in a certain area, certain demographic, and of course that gets into the pay-per-click realm, which we'll certainly talk about more. Okay, so wrapping up, make sure you put your comments in below. Thank you so much for following. Make sure you subscribe, and I look forward to more of your questions, and I hope we get more people in on these clinics. I know over time, as we grow, we get more people in, it seems like, and I really do enjoy sharing and helping you grow your business. You have a great day.